Sup fuckers, it's your boy, Tired Fat Fuck, and today we're doing a review of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game, not the movie, because the game, there always has to be a game about these movies. And today we're talking about certain points of the game that are fucking stupid. Fix that shit. Number one, pressure valve gate. Take it out of the fucking game. Don't. You're standing there, gate opens, everyone's fucking gone. They're like, see you later, bitch. Fuse door, get rid of it. Trim the basement down, make it shorter. It's too maze-like. Who has a maze in their basement? Another thing, make the chainsaw do a bit more damage than it actually does, because it feels like I'm swinging around a wiffle ball bat. The hitchhiker has a little switchblade, little knife they used for shaving back in the day. Or is it a Swiss Army knife? It's one of the two, but it feels like you're swinging around a knife, one of those toy knives from like Dollarama, that if you like even lightly tap it off your finger, it just goes and breaks. Stupid. Get it out of here. Who are Johnny and Sissy? I don't remember those family members ever. Johnny, number one, sucks. Dude's just there. He's the tracker perk from Call of Duty. Fuck him. Sissy is basically an underdeveloped, undercooked, raw as fuck female hitchhiker. You literally just could have called her Nubbin's girl, and people would understand. Are you zooming in on my fucking face right now?
No.
Is that what you're doing? You know, you can talk too. I see you back there. Make the camera woman say something at least a few times. I want your input. It feels like I'm just sitting here talking to myself.
Hey everyone. He knows more about the game, so that's why he's talking more.
Yeah, but I want your insight.
Well, I agree with the chainsaw being weaker than it should be. And yeah, Johnny and Sissy, never heard of them from the movies, so why are they even there? And I have watched them play the game, so the maze basement makes sense to kind of cut it down a bit. Because I know for sure that I would get lost. And then I'd be like, Bo, help me get the fuck out of here. And so those are my points so far.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know you were trying to think about it. Another thing is squeeze gaps. Stupid. Get them out of the game. Dumb. Hate them. I hate when I'm chasing down a survivor. I understand they're meant to get away. Maybe keep some, but trim a few. Make it harder for them to escape, because I feel like every turn I make, people are just like, see you later, and go through a wall. Another one is those little crawl hatches. I know that they're there for the hitchhiker, but if you're not the hitchhiker or Sissy, they're literally the most useless thing under the sun. Another thing is Leland's charge attack, where he can body check someone. I understand him body checking maybe the hitchhiker, Sissy, maybe the cook, Johnny not so much. I'll give Johnny the benefit of the doubt. He looks like he goes to the gym. Him body checking Leatherface though is, in my opinion, one of the dumbest things ever, because he basically body checks a man who has a running chainsaw. He's holding the chainsaw like this, and this man just body checks him, and
like,
somehow doesn't get hurt in that entire situation.
He's like, yo, I'm invincible.
And too many people play Leland.
Oh, yeah.
You're in the basement, you run into a room as Leatherface or whatever, and Leland's just there, and then he body checks the shit out of you. Not fun. The amount of time it takes for Leatherface or any of the family members to recover and do their stupid little animation, way too long. The car battery, fix that shit. Feels like the survivors just turn it off in 2 seconds, open the gate, bye, see you later, gone. Maybe make the game not reliant on you having to rely on your teammates as much. Because if you're a family member and let's say you're Leatherface and you're running around and checking the car, the generator, the fuse, and the pump, and people like Johnny and Sissy are in the tunnels and the cook is not padlocking stuff, you're just like, this round is going to be a headache. So.
And I've seen it firsthand, because he used to be excited to play the game.
Day 1, mint. It was just incredible. Day 2, that's when we started getting into that insanity. Day 3, I literally hopped on the game for about an hour, got body checked by Leland, all 4 survivors escaped through the valve door. I was finished. I just couldn't do it. My friend, Seth, who I play with on this game, we and him were like day 1, we got on, we were trying to play, and then we realized it comes out at 10 a.m. for some reason. So we hopped off, played some Rainbow Six Siege, we hopped back onto this game, and first day, he didn't complain, he said the game was alright, I have to agree with him. For $50, feels like it should be a bit cheaper, feels more like a $30 game than $50. But, I've heard my friend, Seth, also complain about the wells. I'd get rid of a few of the wells, they're stupid. You could be behind the family house, doesn't matter if it's night or day, and someone would be messing with the car battery, you come over to finish them, maybe kill them or whatever, and they can just run, hop in a well, and now they're in the basement under a field of made-up paths. And it's stupid. Take a few of the wells out, make the basement shorter or something. I'm not talking about like mega short where it's one room and you have to hide from Leatherface and somehow pick the door because that'd be highly unfair. But I'm talking about like remove a few of the tunnels, remove a few of those stupid pesky tables that only Leatherface can break. There's so many things to list. My friend, I can literally recount that the amount of times he would be playing as the cook and he's whacking away on someone and then his character runs out of energy and the cook's like, damn it. And then they hop into a well, he lost his shit, he didn't want to do it. The one day he said, maybe we shouldn't try and play the family, we should try and play the survivors. We haven't played it since. I'm only on it right now, just sitting looking at Leatherface. Mostly just to get the points to come back.
What do you think about the pre-order bonuses?
There wasn't any.
What do you think about the DLCs?
Well, one's just extra kills for $9, which seems pretty useless.
Mm-hmm.
They're at, like, it just adds an extra kill. Like, there's 2 kills for each killer. It just adds a third. There's 4 characters. There's 5 killers. My fault. I always forget that Sissy even exists. Sissy's another thing that needs to be changed. The amount of times me and my friend ran at her and tried to hit her because we thought she was a survivor, not good. If a killer looks like a survivor, stupid. Give her a defining feature. I don't know, make her covered in blood. She looks like she's going out to the ball tomorrow. The chainsaws are cool. I mean, you have like a memento one, I haven't used it. You have the pristine one that says Hansen in honor of Gunnar Hansen, who played the original Leatherface. You have a rusty one, which I see people using as Leatherface, and I don't understand it. Because if it was rusty and if you turned on those chains, wouldn't the entire thing just fall apart? Because the rust has already eaten through it. I'm not an expert on chainsaws, but I'm pretty sure a rusty thing could damage another rusty thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't care. If people want to correct me in the comments, I won't read it because I don't care. My point still stands. No rusty chainsaws. Get rid of that. There's a free DLC though, so that's good.
Free DLCs are really good.
Another thing I've heard people talk about, or well, me and Seth have talked about, I play Leatherface. I'm a Leatherface kind of guy. I don't like playing as the cook, he's too slow. Nubbins, you're just sitting there swinging at people and you're like, okay, here's my toy knife. Johnny's okay, he's not the best. He's kind of like a midway between Hitchhiker and Cook. He's got the damage. For some reason, those two killers don't have traps. I feel like they should, but they don't. I call them the stalker types because they can crawl through stuff. Yeah, so mostly I play Leatherface because he's the most damaging, and he's just my favorite character of Texas Chainsaw. Mostly for the reasons of like the first movie. The first movie was incredible, and like the person who played Leatherface, perfect. Guy was stoned out of his mind running a chainsaw all the time, so he was pretty good. This coffee's amazing, by the way. But there is many problems, like you have to cut down doors, and you can't. This is the same game that was developed by Gun Media. This is the game that was developed as like. My brain's now turning off. Hold on, this coffee needs to kick in. Give me a second. This is the same game that was developed by Gun Media, who developed Friday the 13th. And I understand that with a chainsaw, if you start cutting down a door, you kind of want to commit. But there's a dog howling still. You want to commit, but it was nice in part 5, it was nice in Friday the 13th where you could be like cutting down a door and see someone running, and you're like, alright, I'll leave that door alone and go get them. But you can't do that. Mm-hmm. So Leland could be like, at some point I feel like Leland or any of the other survivors could be like teabagging behind you, and you'll just be sitting there stuck in an animation. And as you're done the animation, they're like, run away at top speed. Annoying. Stop. The grandpa feature is fine. I mean, too many people are running around like abusing grandpa. I mean, I get it. You don't want him to detect you all the time, but
poor grandpa.
It's a little nuts when you're on the other side of the map and
yeah,
you're on the car battery and someone knocks him out, and then you're like, alright, I should go get them. Lock gates behind you. Locking needs to be reduced time as well. It takes, your character's like, alright, now I can go get them. I understand. Give them time to run. Mm-hmm. Stupid. I feel like many people who play victims are not scared enough. Like, I feel like by the time they like stab grandpa, they're already hiding in a bush, and like you come running along as Leatherface or whatever, and they're just like, stupid killers. Wouldn't it be nuts if like someone stabbed grandpa and Leatherface was like right there? He's like, mm-hmm. But I understand the flow of the gameplay, it has to be fair.
Yeah.
But then you try to find them, they jump down a well. Funny. By squeeze gap or squeeze gap or well, or they just hide in bushes. And then you run back to the car battery, and then grandpa's like, I'm active again, and someone comes along and goes,
oh, and don't forget how demanding grandpa is for his blood.
I don't have a problem with that, but it feels like blood harvesting is very annoying. Because you like, with Leatherface, I put his savagery and his endurance up. Feels like it didn't do anything, so I thought about like taking his endurance down to where its base level is and then putting his blood harvesting up, but I still haven't decided on that yet.
Yeah. Should we show them a little bit of gameplay?
Alright, there is my max level Leatherface. I'm kind of sweaty with Leatherface sometimes. His DLC kill is called Drilling Down, where he puts his chainsaw on their back and grinds through until he reaches their heart. Pretty fantastic. I do have, for some reason, it keeps getting rid of my perks for Grandpa. Go away. The skill tree is kind of dumb. It's kind of like you choose your own path, but if you choose a path that gets locked off, it's like Dead by Daylight. It's pretty weird. And then, okay, back to it after my girlfriend figures out what she's doing with her tripod. Funny. So we have all three Leatherfaces from the original movie. We have the first pretty lady and the old lady. Never play old lady. Didn't like that skin. Pretty woman I only mainly play because it's Shows that I have progress with the character and that I'm not to be messed with too much. But this is still my favorite Leatherface design of any movie in any timeline ever. The original, I don't think, will ever be outdone. For chainsaws, he has the Pristine, the Memento, Rusty, don't want it, get rid of it, Original. I run Pristine with Pretty Woman. I don't know why I said it's Pretty Woman. I always thought it was Pretty Lady. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, woman, lady. They're
But
both
this is kind of the thing that is making people mad. That's Leatherface's stuff. But you go down here to, let's say, the Hitchhiker, and you have his loadout and stuff, but he doesn't have any cosmetics or knife skins. He's just there. I don't mean to keep doing that. I'm rusty. I haven't been on the game a bit. Same with the cook. All he has is his original outfit. Same with Johnny. I mean, Johnny's a unique character who doesn't have anything for him. He wasn't in the movies. Sissy, same deal. So it's Leatherface.
Hopefully they'll add different skins to.
I mean,
the
for
characters.
Hitchhiker, if they can get the rights to the second movie, they could make him Chop Top. They could give Drayton Sawyer his, like, suit from the second movie if they could.
True.
I mean, Johnny and Sissy, they can basically do anything with at this point.
Yeah.
This guy right here, this is the one that I hate big time.
Such a prick.
Anytime I see him, I just try to get him down and out because I don't like him. Also, this game is very buggy at its current state. Like, there are people who are escaping the map by just, like, putting themselves in a placement, closing a door on them, and then they run over a fence and they're outside the map and you can't get to them. They're just there. But also, I remember one time this guy rage quit, who I was in the middle of killing, who was playing Leland, and... What are you doing? Ah. So, he was playing Leland, and I killed him, and then because he left, the game bugged out and teleported me up into the garden behind the house. So I didn't have to open a door, I didn't have to do anything. I just ran to the car battery, turned it on, made sure the generator was on, and then I hunted down the rest of the victims with my friend Seth.
Hopefully sometime you can get like a screen recording of that and upload it onto your channel.
I mean, yeah, if I can find it, yeah. I mean, but this game is pretty gorgeous. I mean, all things considered, like, my one friend said that it's nothing to boast about, but I think it's a beautiful game.
Like, the house looks movie accurate.
Mm-hmm. The unlockables, I've been getting a bunch of these. And, like, I need to keep unlocking them, but it's not worth it if it's for your mental sanity. You got everything from, like, the sack that was around Nubbin's neck. You've got, like, behind the scenes, Leatherface and Sally, and her escaping the house, and the truck driver who runs into endless nothing. Pretty lady outfit. Still one of my favorite designs for Leatherface is that mask. It's yeah, so I don't know if I have any more points to make. Do you think I have any more points to make?
I think you've made quite. So those were all the main points. Are there any opinions on the sounds or the visuals?
I mean, the chainsaw sounds great. Like, anytime I hear the chainsaw, I'm like, that is the first movie.
Oh, another thing that was pretty dumb that I think you forgot about was that it's not cross-platformer.
Oh yeah, so like PS4 can't play with PS5.
Because I had
Cross-platformer? Do you mean cross-platform?
Yeah. Cross-platformer.
No platform.
Anyway. But yeah, so I can't play with him until I get a PS5.
which is a little bit stupid.
Mm-hmm. Because
It's a new release game. You think they'd be like, okay, yeah, you can play with people on PS4. I get the loading times are probably like reduced on PS5,
mm-hmm.
but it feels like then you just have to like, if you want to play with your friends, you're like, screw using my PS4 and I have to buy a PS5, which isn't so bad, but they cost so much nowadays.
Yeah.
Might as well sell a kidney to get one.
Yeah. But those were the reviews of my handsome partner here.
Do you have anything else to say?
Um,
Before we like dip, is there anything that we're forgetting? For some reason, it's taking my offering to Grandpa away. Stop.
I don't know. I think we've hit every point that we remember.
Oh, I want like one more thing.
Okay.
The cooldown on the battery, the generator, the doors closing, whatever, needs to be reduced so much. Because once the pressure valve gate opens, they got like, it feels like 30 minutes that they can escape. And as the family, you could just be sitting there stabbing them, and they'll still get away.
Yep.
And I understand it's meant to be fair, but a chainsaw would cut through more flesh and inflict more damage than a light little... Because really, in reality, the chainsaw feels like you're going behind the person and going... Feels like the blades aren't even on. It just feels like the metal is there, and he's just like...
Yeah.
Also, we need... The opening cutscene and the character who gets hooked and killed. People need to not be able to move during that. Because I'll be playing as Leatherface. I would have just killed a victim. And out of nowhere, all I hear is people moaning and groaning and ropes being cut. And I'm not even out of the animation yet. And people have, like, went through a map. They load into a match, escape, in 2 minutes. That is stupid.
That is ridiculously fast.
You're meant to have fun, but as the killers, you just feel like you're sitting there like, adios. Goodbye. And it's... I've heard that they said they wanted to add emotes to these games. I hope they don't, because then we'll have another, like... It feels like it will be another incident as, like, what was it? Friday the 13th, where people were running around as Chad in a Speedo, and then they stunned Jason, and then they're doing a dance with California girls on. And it's stupid, because, like, people are just on to have a fun time, but people just are like, alright, we'll escape in 2 minutes, because I'm a sweaty tryhard. Another thing, Leatherface's rev. I've heard people complain about this, where if you rev the chainsaw to do the iconic over-the-head run, in like 2 seconds that chainsaw stalls, and then Leatherface is like, eh. And then you're like, okay, let me turn the chainsaw back on. So, pretty annoying. I'm trying to think. I had like another thought in mind. I think the family members, this is another thing. Family members, I feel like people who play the family don't exactly know what they're doing. You'll start a match, and I feel like the hitchhiker should go... Hitchhiker Johnny or Sissy should go get the car battery, make sure the generator's on, put traps if you're the hitchhiker, and if you're the cook, you lock the entire house. Lock the front door, the back door, and that side door in the living room. Put a and if you're the hitchhiker and you have a trap left, put it by the front window. So if someone jumps out, they get trapped and they get, like, massacred. But it's ridiculous because people don't do that. I had a girl who escaped because she turned off the generator while the rest of the family weren't paying attention. I tried to chase her down and kill her. I hit her with my chainsaw while it was being revved, and she just still got away. Like, the chainsaw basically was like a slap to the noggin.
And then that one time where you were chasing her down the road and you hit her like 3 times, but she still escaped and looked like she was barely on any health, but she made it anyway.
Yeah. Well, there's the... What was that one thing? The game, in its current state, it needs an update before I'll return to it. Because there's so many things, like, minor that wouldn't bug me, but my character, Leatherface, running at a person, they slam the door, he gets hit, and for some reason, his entire 3D model turns and falls through the door. So then he sits back up, stands up, does his animation, and then I have to turn around, open the door, and try to continue the chase after what feels like a 30-minute long animation of him being like, oh, I can't believe they did that. Anytime if one of the family members run out of energy, they play a little animation, or if they get stunned, and it takes forever. And you're sitting there like, I guess that person who I was chasing just got away, because you're sitting there smacking yourself in the face and doing an angry chainsaw dance. My friend also said that whoever was like an MVP of the round should get like an animation at the end. It shouldn't be Leatherface dancing. It should just be like the cook or something, which I think would feel fair. There's also another problem with people just downright taking a kill that you nearly have. Like, I remember I did that once and I felt bad because my friend Seth was, for context, the grandpa living room near the front door of the house. He was chasing a guy, punching him with the stick, and I opened the door and hit him with my chainsaw and stole the kill. I wasn't trying to, but I just wanted to down him or get him low enough that my friend could do something, but no, I just straight up murdered him. And then, like, I'll be chasing someone upstairs in the house, and I'm about to hit them, and then Sissy's like, no, my kill. So I'm just like, okay, awesome.
And that's it from Double the Booze. This is Lucky Gaming 77 and me, the Fate Vlogs. And
YT.
YT. And we'll see you guys in the next video.
I have to say this because apparently she wants me to say this because I forgot to. See you later, people.